Are we not going to talk about how Meagan Good has had to resort to slinging facial pads on TikTok Shop now that she has a couples page with her and her husband, Jonathan Majors? Listen, I'm all for love, I'm all for the black love, whatever, do what you got to do, love that for them. However, we're not going to just skim over the fact that by proxy, Meagan has to sit here and slang fucking facial pads on TikTok Shop because her husband pretty much ruined his career because he was guilty of essaying a woman and they literally cut him from Marvel. So of course, by proxy, her acting career is also over, which is the reason why she's over here making AI posters of like her, and mind you, horribly made AI posters, by the way, horribly made AI posters in like very, very low quality marketing and advertising for this facial pad that she is slinging on TikTok. And that's probably because she's never had to sell a goddamn thing in her life because she's always relied on acting. That of which she is not going to really be able to rely on because she decided to get married to someone who now has been exiled from acting because of poor decisions. And then you decide to marry that man. And like, don't get me wrong, they make a picture perfect couple. They're in the gym together. She looks good. He looks good. But it's like, this has to be the new rebrand for Meagan Good because she got married to Jonathan Majors. And so essentially it's like, oh, well, now Meagan can be the product, I guess, for their marriage. But yeah, they're cute or whatever, but the whole page is just weird. It may just be because of how I was brought up, but the whole concept of black love has never made sense to me. I would go as far as to say I've always thought it's been actually very stupid. And this is coming from someone whose physical preference is black men, okay? Like physically, my head's going to turn the fastest if I were to have the most attractive of any type of like race, the most attractive man in any race. In most cases, my eyes are probably going to stay fixed on the black man in most cases. So this is coming from someone who physically has a preference for black men. But I say all that to say, I've never gotten to the point where I've been able to wrap my head around partnering with someone just simply because you all share the same race, okay? And I understand to a certain extent that because there are certain struggles, as a marginalized group that, you will share, it will be able to make it a little bit easier as opposed to dating outside and maybe trying to explain to that other person or getting that other person to empathize with you since they don't share the same race as you. I understand that. But like when people come with a talking point and they're like, I'm not going to procreate and mix my genetics with someone of like a different race, my genetics as a black person, the lineage, it has to all be black people. In my head, that's stupid, okay? In my head, that just makes no fucking sense. To me, that's dumb. Okay, you can only curate the life of which you're living. Who's to say that you're going to extend your bloodline of only black people after you die? You have no guarantee of that. So you're going to sit here and decide, oh, well, I'm not going to mix my blood with the white man's blood and I'm not going to dilute, okay, whatever. But just because you don't dilute it doesn't mean that later down the line, someone in the lineage is not going to do that. So then what? Like, you casted off all options with the hope that later down in generations, they weren't going to mix with another race of people and then it ended up happening anyway. I don't know. The way that I've always looked at like dating and like relationships and things like that, in my opinion, there's power in numbers and there's also power in education and intellect. And so I've always just looked at it like, it's like investments, right? The strongest investments have a diverse portfolio. And so that's kind of how I've always looked at like dating, right? I want to have a diversified portfolio. I want to have been cultured enough within my dating experience. I've been one of those people where I've always valued having a very rich dating experience culturally. I already know what my culture has to offer. I already know that. And because I've always been very open culturally, and like I said, it's also how I was raised, because I was raised around people that looked like me, and then I was raised around people that didn't look like me. And then I grew up in an environment where culturally we were very open. So like I grew up and I was watching Bollywood films, you know what I mean? Like I was watching Bollywood films, like going to like festivals, like Indian festivals and stuff like that. So culturally I've always been really, really open. And so therefore it just never made a whole lot of sense to me to just want to deal with someone just simply because you share the same skin tone. Well, not even skin tone, but just like race, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It just never ever made sense to me.
I literally just woke up, excuse how I look, but why did I just see Meagan Good on my timeline? And her TikTok account is called Meagan and Jonathan. Does she know that she's Meagan Good? Why is she so hard up about attaching her name to this man? You are Meagan Good. You don't need your account to be called Meagan and Jonathan. Ew!
And here we have the wife walking through the natural elements, her habitat. You'll see she has a phone in her hand. That's used to communicate with her mate. Also, to discuss food, hair, nails, eyelashes. It's also used in the pursuit of her dreams of an actress. We rarely see these sightings, these wives in the wild. We thank our lucky stars. Yeah, that's gonna work. That's it. That's it. Stop there. Yeah. Stop. Yeah, now go. Stop.
One more? Oh, that's it.
And I want to share this with you. I want to teach you what I learned. I get to touch people's lives with what I do. And it keeps me going, and I love it. And I think if you give it a shot, you might love it too.
What's up, you guys? It's Megan.
And Jonathan.
And we just got back from the Black Expo in South Carolina, which was incredible. We had an amazing conversation around health and wellness and our brand, honor culture.
And our loud dogs.
And our dogs.
Yeah, we also had the privilege of sharing some of our new items. So some of the familiar items like the cap and hat right here. We have the different color schemes. We now have camouflage. We got really nice
Corduroy.
yeah, thank you. Corduroy, blue, cream, really beautiful.
Yes.
Of course, we got the classic.
Classic.
Yeah, we got this new denim, this black denim, which is super cool. I think that's Meg's favorite.
It's my favorite.
It's
very
and then we have a
ladies.
bunch of these bucket hats.
Bucket hats, all the colors. Wanted to make sure that people had something to go with everything. And of course, had to do the 90s denim, y'all. Came and play.
And then last but not least, we dropped the Bishop hoodie, which is the honor culture hoodie I'm wearing now. It's got the name printed on it nicely. Reverse zip. Regular zip.
Quality's crazy.
Fire.
Hoodie's amazing. And it's a crop.
Yeah. So we'll let you guys check that out when you get a chance. And finally,
some girl crop tees that fit amazing and fit and hug all the things amazing. And so, yeah, we're having a 10% off deal because it is Memorial Day weekend and we want to bless y'all. So we appreciate y'all.
All right. See you guys.
See you.
I think most recently, her with Jonathan, their marriage, I would have to say, her journey through her divorce, all of that combined, I have definitely been watching a flower bloom for sure. And I don't even think she's always aware. I don't think she's always aware of how far she's come because she's very present, so she doesn't really look back. But I definitely am there, you know, as we're in the tunnel to the future. And I just smile looking back at all she's been through and how she never let it destroy her. You know, it's broken her. It's tried to leave its scars. And, you know, I just smile every time I watch her today now, you know, her and Jonathan. And, you know, I'm just really proud of her. I'm inspired by her. You know, I'm the big sister, but in so many ways I'm inspired in my own life and motivated and transformed by her presence. Sorry. So, but yeah, so right now, in her current rise, as I look back, I just smile. It almost feels like we're in an open jet in the air flying and she's just piloting and I'm just waving by to all the bullshit.